my advice to any manager is to do not go home.
Yeah.
Do not let that conflict fester.
Welcome to Fika's Focus. Voices leading change.
All right. Tēnā koe, brother.
Kia ora, bro.
Bro, good to sit down and actually formalise our kōrero. I know and first off, shout out to the bro Lloyd. Built the connection for us. We caught up quickly. Yeah, had a mean catch up. Knew heaps of whānau who knew each other. And bro, it's meant to sit down with you and have a kōrero today.
Yeah. Well, Lloyd obviously is my cousin. Grew up with him, went to school with him, primary. He's a big part of my life, returning home from Australia, connecting with him and some of the other brothers.
Yeah.
Massive shout out to the bro Lloyd, the connector.
Yeah. Well, let's start. No here koe, bro. Where are you from? Tell us about that.
Te Aroha te waka, tongariro te maunga, taupo te moana, te hihu te tangata. He hononga ki ngā puhi, me Ngāti Maniapoto, anō hoki. Ai, ko Shaun Eckhoff.
And Eckhoff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's talk to that part of your whakapapa. Yeah.
Well, yeah, funny thing. Obviously, being back home recently with the passing of our chief, when I introduced myself, they, well, who's your nan? Or where, who you attached to, or where do you whakapapa from? And what's your last name? I was, Eckhoff. They're like, so there's no connection there unless they know my Eckhoff whānau, which grew up in Taumaranui, down that area in the King Country. I sort of, Eckhoff is German.
Yes, okay.
But we're Dutch.
Yep.
So Dutch, German border,
Yep.
sort of in the area of the Black Forest, that area. So it's kind of, I believe it's southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but my whakapapa to that side is back to the Netherlands, Dutch.
Yeah, crazy. Like, I grew up with whānau there and, just European name. Like, look at me, Everest, which has Irish links, but then carry on further into French links, originating out of Devereux. And obviously someone just deciding on the boat somewhere to change the names, eh?
Yeah.
But it's always a real interesting journey. Same thing when people meet me or we go into Hui or Māori Hui and they're like, Everest. Because it is quite, I've never met an Eckhoff. Not many people have I met in Everest.
Yeah.
That isn't my whānau. I've never met another Everest. That's not my whānau.
Yeah.
Real interesting, eh?
Yeah, and interesting too when you go to research your last name, how often the name changes or letters get added or deleted. Yeah. So like a lot of the Eckhoffs that went to America, they don't have the C, so it's just EK. HOFF.
Okay.
And then some of the Eckhoffs in Australia only have one F, not two Fs at the end. But they all come from the same line eventually.
Far right. That's crazy. And going on to Aussie, because I know you lived over there for a while. I was just going back through your website this morning and seeing how much experience, it's got plus 24 years, 100,000 screws, all this sort of stuff. But your kaupapa and what you're doing with Land Design, Land Design HQ and all that. Talk to us about that, bro. Like, this is not just you just fell in it one day. You've been in this space and you're quite passionate about it.
I love my mahi. It's something an uncle picked me up when I was 16, said you come into mahi for the holidays, and that was the start of it. And I sort of have worked outside ever since. Done a bit of building, worked for placemakers doing trusses and house frames for a few years, and got into detailing or drafting, and that shifted me to the architecture. Didn't really enjoy sitting in an office. Needed to get back outside, so that was sort of that transition into the landscape world. Done every type of landscaping you can think of, but recently I've kind of I think I'm on a bit of a transition, bit of a shift. That comes with age, I guess, too, and experience. And I feel like I'm either going to shift or split my business into more urban spaces and the play space, and which is why I guess some of the brothers were like, oh, you need to catch up with Ray.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that side of things. Traditional landscaping is more like your client centric, face to face with one person and seeing them sort of happy with what you're putting out or providing for them. I feel like it's not quite there for me here.
Yep.
I want to be able to give more to more people.
Yes. Yep.
I guess that's where that urban space and playgrounds and
Yep.
the recreation side of landscaping is probably where I'm shifting towards, because can provide for a community or a school or kura.
Yeah, the kōrero with Ngā Pōtiki and some of their kind of vision on what they're trying to do with some of their lands now in terms of creating sports spaces and, even talking through, you mentioned a Māori Queen and I think of Te Ranga Waiwai and growing up there, and there was always heaps of space for kids to roam and play safely. I remember watching softball and, the playgrounds and everything around there. Those urban spaces are actually quite critical to communities, the functionality, safety, but also a place to gather and catch up.
I really like the way that the designers, the planners are going with urban space now, culturally, but also it's because these spaces, instead of just having a green paddock and plonking a playground in the centre with a slide and a swing and some bark, they're actually really thinking about a bit of a journey, or there's a kaupapa behind the design. Lots of new designs, play spaces have like pou for karo or pou karaki or whatever they choose to put in that space. I think it's awesome, eh?
And that represents the whānau approach too. I think that's what I love exactly what you're talking to, because when you're out with your whānau and you get to also connect with what local pūrākau is of the area, of the region, it's pretty prominent around here. Like even walking down the waterways down here, all the whakapapa of the area and the tuna hunting and all that, it's like it's all there, it's all available. It's actually really awesome. I walk down with my kids. There's a lot more thinking going through,
because it's the next part of it, eh? You've got the design and you've got the implementation, but it's getting the people there, and it's communicating that, and how do you do that, and it's creating spaces that people want to talk about, instead of just taking your kids to go for a play and then you never mention it ever again. Some people don't even know they have these amazing play spaces in their backyards. And Mowal is, when you cruise around Mowal and see all the news, it's beautiful. Like,
it's such a good example.
It's such a good example.
And tech news now, you can QR code and there's an app and you can listen to all the without having to be guided. It's certainly upscale.
And to be to have such interactive landscaping there on a wāhi tapu. That's traditionally back here you would just say no. Shut off.
Can't come
here. But now it's about coming here because you want to be able to teach people about it. People need to understand what wāhi tapu is and all these significant places and locations around our country to come and honour it. Instead of just closing it off.
And that would be part of it.
Yeah.
Part of the actual succession of it too.
Yeah, no doubt. I was at a conference the other week, and it was emerging leaders and networking conference for urban space recreation. Lots of young kids there, and they what blew me away was how keen they were to learn about that cultural aspect to what they do, and how willing they were to have the kōrero with the iwi and the hapu to involve them at the design stage, not as a token thing, midway when you go, oh geez, maybe we should talk to the iwi about this. It was at the forefront, and so that space looks really good. It's probably a space that I'll probably hover around in and see if it works for aligning with where I want to go. It was good. It was good to go and even though I'm not even in that space,
Yep.
I kind of walked away going, I like this space, and I want to awhi these kids, even though I was there as one of them.
Yep.
You know, at my table, I think everyone was under 30. So
Oh, wow.
I was like 10 years older than everyone. So I was kind of like one of the not an emerging leader anyway. Yeah. And when I spoke, they were attentive, and even I was talking about Po, and afterwards when we had our break, a few people lined up and wanted to ask me questions. It's like, oh, this is cool. This is what I like.
Yeah, it's meant to apply your knowledge that you have that's been passed through, and Brian, putting yourself into those sort of situations or those scenarios where you can talk through. That is actually a really important facet. It's what we had from our karawa and our kuia growing up. You got to sit down, whether you liked it or not, but you had to sit down and you got to listen, and that's certainly something that I hold close to my heart. But also talking through the youngsters, because the last time we caught up and you were talking to about and what has been a tough market, but how you encourage some of your team to really drive them forward, or to in terms of customer need and things. It was such a beautiful corridor, especially some of your young fellas, but like arriving on time, before time, all those sorts of things. Talk through some of the whakaaro there, bro, because I actually think I really love that part of your thinking.
Yeah, I'm not obviously being in project management and working for all these big companies for years, I'm not huge on having cemented times to start, like, you've got to be here. It's but there's things like that, like if you want, for our young ones, if you want to sort of align yourself or sit next to people that are successful, it's be a step ahead of them. Try to anyway. Like that, like you said, I say, just make sure you're here early. Don't be late. And if you are late for a really valid reason, communication's massive. But yeah, I don't have really start. I sort of say, oh, we'll be here at this time, and all my boys are there early. But I don't have a set time of start and finish.
And what do you think? Because I love that. And if you're in when I was teaching, that's not a
can't be a thing.
You've got to be there at that. But I was always early, finished late. But that's the school day starts at this time, so you have to do that. But that flexibility and freedom, I think there's some lessons in that for shaping out the life that people want to.
Yep. Yeah.
What is that? What do you think for those? What are some of the lessons that it does offer?
Well, it puts a little bit of responsibility on them, and when you get a bit of responsibility like that and it becomes a routine, it's better for your life in general. You become, no one likes people that are late.
No. yeah.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
It does my head in sometimes, So giving them the it's not the freedom, it's just giving them the responsibility to self-manage themselves. There was a few teething problems earlier on, but now they it's just is what it is. They if it's a super early day, they will touch base and ask, is there anything else you want done, or should we shoot over to this job? But the last thing you want too is staff going home grumpy, because they're generally going to come in the next day.
Yes, yeah,
a little bit grumpy.
Yeah,
and grumpy people don't work at 110%.
No.
They work between 80 and 90.
Probably more towards the late 80s.
In the trades anyway. So it all comes down to well-being and doing everything I can for my staff to be happy and enjoy being at work, because people don't leave jobs that they're happy at.
But bro, that's been lost. Like, I agree, man. When I was happy and when I loved working for someone, bro, like, they had me. That was it. Like, I was like staunchly theirs, it's so, and I'm not that I'm, we have let some people down. We've shifted in ways and we haven't aligned and things like that. And I've done my best to not let people down without being in a people pleasing aspect. I think holding true to who I am is really important. But bro, when you love someone, when you feel like, and you took, the reason why it resonates for me is because I've worked with some people that did give me that freedom, that autonomy. When I made decisions that didn't go well, they actually supported me through that. Why? How could you have done that better? Or why do you think it got to that point? Or and it's that sort of we're going back to talking about our karawa, our kuia. Those were the lessons too that we were passed on through there. And that's why I think generationally a lot of that Māori whakaaro fits beautifully in business, actually.
Yep, especially when it comes to management like that, because we talk about Aroha, awhi, manaaki, and all those beautiful terms, but they don't really mean anything unless you give it. You might think you're a person, of awhi, and but you've got to continuously give that out. And recently, that's probably my reset. Like my partner says, you need to give yourself time. You go home quite often, and you're always giving to other people, and it's because that I think that release and that return of seeing someone happy is sort of my reset and building of my modi. It builds up my energy and resets me to carry on. Yeah,
it's a service lens, and to serve those that may not necessarily serve us back, or do not have the means to serve to give service back. I think when we realise that is the true way of operation, to go and serve as best you can with the time that you have available. It certainly is a force multiplier in your own, like you said, your own modi, your own wairua, and a reset. And I think through a lot of that being available, people having access to me, and I will say no to things pretty straight up as well. Like I'm like, oh, hey bro, thank you, but no, that's not for me. Sometimes people were a little bit like, whoa, that seems a bit full on, almost confrontational. But I'm okay with saying no. But then if I said yes to everything, then I don't get to serve in a lot of things. And like I'm passionate about business and helping other people in their business, even if it means helping them realise that maybe business isn't for them. But the service piece is a real driver for Māori Pacifica businesses in particular, who I've met when I meet the owners. It's a huge part of who they are. You've got, your website's beautiful and there's all these amazing pictures in there, but where does that crafting and design piece that you've gone through, there's obviously some very clear detailing going on.
Yeah, I think my my journey has kind of got me to where I was before I started Land Design HQ. Studying architecture, building design, working. Being on a shovel for years or a rake. Learning that and I think I have a really good balance of practical and functional design, and obviously working in the playground space has given me that eye of detail, because you can't be sloppy. Everything has to be perfect, with regulations and everything else. So that's, I think it's all accumulated to Land Design, what I provide now, and then I guess, I haven't always been, maybe 10 years ago I wouldn't be able to sit here in front of you and talk openly like this. But, becoming a father as well, I think everything just shifted.
Yeah. Yeah, talk to that, bro, because you started later on in the
Yeah,
game.
So, me and my partner, we decided to not have children early. I've been with my partner since school. So, geez, I don't know how many years that is now, like 20-something years anyway. We travelled around. We decided to travel first. And, we've got 2 girls, and 7 and 3. I'm 42 and my partner's 39, so we started quite late. And before then, it's all about us, really, and then you don't really think about the future too much. So when you have kids, you need to start thinking about what can I do, to make sure they journey through life, not comfortably, but safely, and they have everything that they need to be who they want to be. So that whole journey's probably shifted me to who I am as a person. To really, I'm really passionate about helping, especially the young ones that sort of don't have any vision to their own path. And it's not about telling them which way to go. It's about them sort of finding within themselves where they want to go.
And there's a lot of noise for kids today, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a year older than you. Bro, there wasn't a lot of noise. You just went home. Or you went out, you just did what you had to do. But there's so much access to noise.
Rubbish.
Yeah, rubbish. It's hard to distill it down.
Yep.
I that's why I see more importance of people like yourself being in front of kids, because building a vision means that you get to pick up your own paintbrush and paint it, and if you don't like parts of it, you just rub it out and go again.
Yeah, that's huge. Knowing that at no matter what age you are or where you are in your life, you can start again. It's not failure. You've kind of just actually realized that wasn't for you, and put that aside and move on.
And it's the brave, I think, that is the brave part to do. You're here talking about now looking at what your business can do, splitting off, doing other things. And I was journaling about this the other day, that people hang on to status quo, like it's the comfy blanket of life, and even at certain levels of success, I was talking to someone this morning. They were talking about they work for a major firm in the country, how backwards they are in terms of their own systems and delivery. And I was like, what? I couldn't get over it. I was like, these guys are massive. And he said, bro, they're so backwards. And it's the status quo because that's got us success and this is what we do, but it's not retaining some of the real young go-getters. But also when you, again, going back to that kind of eliminating the ability to pick up your own paintbrush and paint what we see as vision in life, it's seeing people succeed and do well while also still maintaining who they are, to the values, to service, to creating something that they're passionate about, being able to say, oh, actually, now my heart's not singing when I'm doing that. I'm going to go this way and take that step in.
Yep.
What's some of the thinking, bro, when you're going through those sorts of thoughts? You got your babies as well now as well. So
yeah, well, for me, I like to be challenged as well. So, when you get really good at something, even though you might love it, you sometimes you earn for a bit of a challenge, because it can become, I don't like the word boring, but it's not boring because I do love it. But it's something you just get really good at, and some people are comfortable with that. But for me, I feel like it's not doing anything for my wairoa.
yeah.
Sort of, I don't want to leave it behind.
Yeah. I liken it to playing, like when I was a kid, I used to play games and you finish them. And once you finished it, that was it.
Yeah.
You generally don't go back and play.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot of Street Fighter. I actually used to compete in it nationally.
Well, I was never good at Street Fighter.
But I remember the beauty of that was never playing the computer because I could beat the damn thing. But it was when I came up against new people, new challenges, different characters, what they did. It was the ability to test my skill set in different environments against different people, and what you're talking to actually is quite a human need. You know, when one person found fire, discovered fire, everyone just got fire. When we discovered the wheel, everyone got the wheel. But what did it allow us to do? What did fire allow us to do? What did the wheel allow us to do? People kept reiterating that function. And I think as a human, it's actually a very natural thing.
Yeah, asking questions. Yeah, questions that you don't know the answer to.
And that's a big thing, right? A lot of people steer away from that. And when you start to, because your wife and yourself, you've obviously travelled lots and done lots of things, but what does that look like? And you start to frame that up together as a partnership and start asking some of those challenging questions. How do you guys deal with that?
Yeah, my partner's she's we're very opposite. Yeah, I'm very social. I try to attend everything that I'm asked to because I don't want to miss out. And Sarah, she's happy to just cruise, you know. She's happy to chill out, and but together she can see that I've always been like a driven person. I've always been a person that wants to. If I've got something to do, I've got to do it right now. Like get stuck into it, or even just start it and get the ball rolling.
Yep.
And she can see that now, so she's looking at maybe finishing up at her mahi and joining Land Design HQ.
Oh, yeah,
permanently.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Heard it here first.
Yeah. So we can work on this together because she can see that that I'm passionate about change. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I know that there needs to be change there. So, she calms me down. She does pull the handbrake sometimes, like hold up, and asks the questions that I will overlook or just throw over there in that bag that I don't want to deal with, and just to move forward and progress.
Yep.
Which is brilliant because you can burn out if you don't have people like that to sort of calm you down, slow you down.
Yes.
And she does it in a way that she doesn't even have to say. So
You're exposing yourself here, brother.
I guess that's a testament to her ahua. She's got a very calming ahua about her.
Urgency, and that's something again that resonates with me. Urgency is a very big skill. I like,
especially in business.
Yeah, I'm an urgent person too. I've certainly slowed down in how many urgent decisions I make. In fact, these days I make bugger all decisions. But when I know in my mind I'm in a situation to make an urgent decision, generally I do. The downfalls are the urgency is not always shared. Yeah, that can leave people behind, which I've learnt some pretty brutal lessons in. But some of the real benefits of urgency, what do you think?
Well, when we caught up last time, you put it another way and about giving access, and that stuck with me since that kōrero, and I've used that often over the last few weeks about when someone is in need of your whakaaro or just a client, needs something from you, being urgent about it, but you've got to give them access to you first.
Yes. Yep.
And that's something I struggle with because it's all open for me. I'll have a client message or try and ring me on a Sunday night. I'll answer that call. and my partner's like, it's bloody 9 o'clock on a Sunday. What are you doing? But I don't know if that is a reason why I'm successful on that side of business. It probably is.
I
because
agree.
they feel like he's mine.
Yeah, yeah.
And I get I've heard that term quite often. People ring, oh hey, I was recommended, blah blah blah, rung up and said that you're their landscaper. Like, I'm theirs. So yeah, it's probably good for business. Probably not so good for my home life, my home time, my whānau time. But I'm okay with it. I can deal with it.
Yeah, access. I still, when we also understand we get to turn the tap on and off. You know, I'm pretty strict about my timings through the day too. Myself, it's a especially because your kids are like, my baby's off to intermediate next year. I don't even know how the hell that happened. You know, we were just talking the other day. Like, I remember her first day, her telling me to go. You know, I sit down with her, Dad, you can go. Hey. And then she's off to intermediate next year. But access combined with urgency to, let's use the phone call, 9 o'clock at night, the likelihood your kids are not awake Sunday, so that's okay. Now, I'm just going through your own justification, trying to be you. You're probably sitting down doing nothing of much, and the phone call's not a 1 hour FaceTime like you do with whānau. It's you know, like, it's someone saying, hey, can you, or do, and you're like, yeah, easy. We still get to choose whether we answer the call or not. Access that's driven a lot of my whakaaro in being in business and coaching and friend, whānau, dad. Being a dad is a big one. I didn't always have access to my own dad. He was always busy. Some people would say it's not healthy, but those that do more than they get paid for end up being paid more for what they do. So
what's not healthy is me not answering that phone call and wondering what that phone call was about.
That's worse. Yeah, ruminating. Yeah, ruminating on it. Yes.
And not being able to sleep.
Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, because if you're a ruminator, if you do ruminate on that,
yep, and I do.
Yeah,
I like nipping things quickly or getting on top of things. Don't like, and even in my business, if there's a conflict with the boys, my advice to any manager is to do not go home.
Yeah.
Do not let that conflict fester. Hit it straight away, in a good way. You know, acknowledge that there was a conflict. Talk about it. You know, and resolve it. Shake hands, have a laugh, move on. At the end of the day, they are there for them to make money, for you to make money, and also, it's about that, going back to making sure your workers go home happy and coming to work happy. You know, I've learnt that, you know, managing big crews in Aussie, and for me taking that home too and stewing over it, and you know that you don't know how they're dealing with it as well. They could be like, oh, whatever, or they could be stewing over it as well, and then when you finally get an opportunity to talk about it, it can implode. Yeah, because yous are both being like in your own heads trying to deal with what happened, and you're not thinking straight. Yeah,
it's such a beautiful corridor, bro, because going back to there's so much noise. I guarantee you, somehow the algorithm on their TikTok will start talking through some stuff.
Yep.
Like, that's the thing. That is the thing, bro. Like, the algorithm understands, and just all of a sudden you're looking through things, and then, narcissist, and conflict with work, PGs, you know.
It's so easy for an employee to sort of start going down that stuff that I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm not taking that. You know. But if you sort of deal with it, 'cause sometimes it could be something minute.
Yes. Yeah.
And it can just grow because it's not dealt with.
It just escalates.
Yeah. A hit. Yeah. That's I would if that would be quite up there with some advice that I would give
Yes.
aspiring managers, and is to conflict.
Yeah.
Bang, hit it.
And give us something else, bro. What other gems?
What did I say last time? It was, you asked me about what's it like being a business owner.
Yep.
10% profit, 90% building character. Which is probably another reason why I want to shift my business or split it.
Yeah.
To free up some time and get some financial well-being as well.
The character piece is important though.
Yes.
As long as we take the lessons.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I've never been, I didn't grow up as a business person or study business,
Yes.
or it's all sort of self-taught.
Yeah.
Actually, when I moved back from Aussie and sort of reconnected with Lloyd and stuff, he rang me one afternoon. You probably won't remember this, but he rang me and we were talking about what I'm doing, and it was him that said, "What are you doing working for someone else? You should be a business owner." You know, and that was kind of a light bulb moment.
Yep.
And that was a moment, because I had recently became a father and moved home from Australia. I was on my own whenua, I was home, I was grounded, I had my whānau close by. That was that moment I went, yeah, probably should have done it years ago. But I would never have done that because I wasn't settled. I was in Australia.
Yep.
I used to come home often, but I always knew that was never going to be my forever home.
Yes.
So that shift coming home was probably that moment where I went, I'm going to start my own business.
And it's a lot of steps that seem, well, when I talk through this with a lot of the brothers, that's first step. We do need to be vouched for from someone that we respect, that holds mana for us. I think that's an important part. As long as we understand they're not an echo chamber too, you know, those, and one day, hopefully we get to continue those lessons by saying, hey, have you thought about that, bro? Like, you can be really good at this, and this is how you structure that up.
Yep.
Oh, you know, and it is the day-to-day things, the payroll, the GST, the paying your tax, you know, all this money, all the contracts.
Hopefully what my partner's going to do when she jumps on board.
Yes. But,
so I've got to free up more time to come and do things like this.
Yes, yeah, but it is that sort of, the currency of time matters. I think the more you can get into business and think through, man, actually, how much time can I spend away from my business without it collapsing? And starting, if it starts in 1 hour or 10 minutes, and then you eventually get to 1 day and then 2 days. And
I think I'm kind of at that stage where I need to start making the moves or putting in place so I can, because my business has really been built on me. You know, my skills, my experience, everything that I bring, but my boys are, you know, they're obviously a huge part of my business as well. So they're super important as well. But it's trying to get that across to the clients that everything will be okay if I'm not here.
Yeah, that's important.
Because I am still here because I'm in those boys.
Yeah, my waiter was in there. Yeah, exactly.
They've been with me since I started. You know, I've got one new guy, but my two main guys that I've got, they've been with me since I started. So they've, you know, everything that we've done together, it's like it's complete now. It's not just me. You know, there's things that I still do, technical things, and there's things that they're better than me at too.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's great to hear a business owner say that.
Yeah, and I acknowledge that. You know, like when we're working out jobs and retaining, fencing, decking, it's like, oh, that's you. You're all over that, Nate.
Yeah.
You know, that'll free me up. So it's, free me up to carry on with the business and grow the business and do all that stuff that people don't see.
Yeah, awesome.
within the business.
Well, bro, where do we find you? Where can we find, obviously, tell us where we can find some spots so we can come and really celebrate, and then obviously you can become someone else's landscaper.
Land Design HQ is based out of Omokoroa, and we work Bay Plenty wide, up to Waihi and all the way down to Whakatane too. So, and yeah, on the website, landdesignhq.com. Yeah.
Easy. Brother, it's been cool to talk to you. It's been great to actually document some of these conversations, and I love your ahua. I think it's to be able to work with someone in that space who is pretty calm. Although you've got a sense of urgency, there is still an element of calm to you, which is not chaotic, which is really, really powerful, bro. Today. But appreciate your time, bro.
Cool.
And yeah, look forward to the next one.
Kia ora, bro.
Awesome, brother. Thank you. And up the waz.
Yeah.